behavioral research is expanding into nearly every sector, from academic labs measuring cognitive load to manufacturers testing consumer ergonomics. The need for high-fidelity human data has become a standard requirement for discovery. Scientists constantly collide with a massive, frustrating barrier that immediately halts their momentum and stalls their investigations. This barrier is technical execution. Modern online research often requires scientists to write custom code, configure local servers, and manually patch databases just to deploy a single experiment. This forces behavioral experts to spend their time as amateur software engineers. When a researcher is focused on debugging script errors rather than analyzing human behavior, the entire scientific process remains stalled. Gorilla software was engineered as a structural solution to bypass this technical bottleneck entirely. The platform's core architecture is a unified, cloud-based ecosystem that consolidates the entire research pipeline into one environment. By utilizing a no-code design, the platform removes the requirement for specialized programming languages in the experimental phase. Researchers use a graphical user interface to build experiments visually. Instead of writing lines of command line text, they interact with logical blocks and visual design tools. This democratization removes traditional programming prerequisites, allowing researchers with diverse backgrounds to lead sophisticated behavioral studies. Migrating to a unified automated workflow removes technical friction, allowing research teams to increase the volume and complexity of their experiments without expanding their technical staff. To see the impact of this shift, we can analyze Phase 1 of the research pipeline, experiment design. On the top track, legacy workflows require manually compiling scripts, frequently halting for troubleshooting. This manual approach creates friction and high risk of cross-compatibility errors. But Gorilla's bottom track uses a drag-and-drop template system with pre-tested structural logic. These pre-built templates mean researchers no longer need to draft basic experimental logic from the ground up for every new study. Because the technical heavy lifting is handled by the platform, labs can avoid the significant cost of hiring full-time programmers to build simple behavioral tasks. Using these templates is a methodological best practice. It ensures that experimental tasks remain consistent and standardized across multiple years of research. Teams can further optimize their workflow by utilizing keyboard shortcuts within the UI, reducing the time spent on repetitive administrative design tasks. With no code to recompile, the iteration cycle is drastically shortened. Researchers can test and refine experiment variations in minutes rather than days. The template-driven interface enables the translation of a theoretical hypothesis into a deployable model without the delays of a traditional software development cycle. Once the design is finalized, the pipeline moves to Phase 2, deployment and data collection. Manual workflows that rely on researchers to route participants and hand-enter data are prone to human error, which can quietly corrupt a dataset. Gorilla automates participant recruitment and routing. The software handles the entire progression of a subject through the study without requiring the researcher to intervene. This automated flow is logged securely and fed directly into real-time reporting dashboards, giving researchers an immediate view of their data as it arrives. By automating these administrative workflows, the system eliminates manual entry errors, ensuring the final dataset reflects participant behavior with high scientific accuracy. The final operational phase is global collaboration and security. A cloud-native architecture allows researchers in different parts of the world to access and edit the same project environment simultaneously. This capability removes institutional silos, allowing labs to share data and collaborate on analysis across international borders in real time. Because research data is hosted in the cloud, rigorous data protection protocols are an operational necessity. Gorilla manages this through a robust security infrastructure that limits database access to authorized users and protects sensitive participant metrics from external breaches. However, this architecture requires a stable internet connection. In areas with limited connectivity, maintaining reliable access to the cloud servers is a significant constraint. To prevent data loss, teams should maintain clear folder structures and perform regular backups, ensuring their projects remain organized and recoverable. This cloud structure creates a balance. It provides frictionless global access while meeting the strict security standards required by institutional review boards. How can a single architecture serve the needs of so many different scientific fields? Educators use it to track student engagement, testing how different digital teaching methodologies affect learning outcomes in real time. Engineering teams apply the software to human-computer interaction, gathering data to improve hardware ergonomics and user interface design. In healthcare, professionals use these behavioral studies to test psychological interventions and refine strategies for patient care. Businesses and manufacturers rely on the platform for high-volume market research, using it to analyze consumer preferences and refine product development. While more affordable than hiring a dedicated engineering team, the platform still requires a financial investment that may be significant for smaller labs. Furthermore, although it is a no-code system, mastering the internal logic and automation features requires an initial, dedicated learning curve. Despite these entry costs, the platform's flexible design makes it a nearly universal tool for any field that requires rigorous human behavioral data. Comparing the final outputs shows the systemic advantage. While the legacy workflow is often still cleaning raw data, the unified ecosystem has already produced comprehensive visual reports. This architectural model is built for the next stage of research technology, integrated AI. Because the platform standardizes behavioral data into a uniform cloud database, it can pipe that information directly into machine learning models for real-time analysis. This allows for predictive analytics that can adjust experiment parameters mid-collection or identify complex correlations that might be missed by manual observation. The platform serves as a foundation for these emerging technologies, moving from a data collection tool to an active participant in the analytical workflow. The shift from bespoke, localized programming to a unified cloud ecosystem represents a major change in how behavioral research is conducted. This migration increases a lab's productivity, eliminates manual inaccuracies, and reduces the long-term overhead costs of technical development. Removing menial administrative friction allows the researcher to focus entirely on synthesizing complex data and making meaningful contributions to their field. Guerrilla Software succeeds by solving the technical engineering hurdle, returning behavioral research to its primary purpose, pure scientific discovery.